has everybody losing their minds.
It looks like something that a fashion brand would do.
It's like a more vibrant version of Dune.
You definitely copy beats. I am sorry.
It like they asked ChatGPT to write the lines for them.
And I really kind of hate it.
The creative was awful.
Now it's all about the cars, which, by the way, are beautiful cars.
It's post December 2nd. Jaguar 2.0. You texted me and said you have a lot of thoughts. I'm ready. Please unload. Welcome to a podcast or a video series. We're going to do brand critiques. We've been wanting to do this podcast for a long time. We've been putting it off for a long time. We tried once, and I managed to not edit the video in a timely fashion. And now it's like old news that brand that happened is just not interesting anymore. So we're going to try again with this brand critique podcast, right?
Yep.
We're going to start with a banger that just has been like ringing throughout the design/marketing industry with Jaguar. Jaguar. I don't know how I think that's how the British say it. Jaguar. Yeah. We've got American accents.
How do you say it?
I think the British would be like Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Yeah, but more emphasis on the GU. We'll have to ask a British person sometime. Maybe we could feature somebody. Anyways, so we're going to do it in two parts because they have launched their brand teaser, which is just, I don't know, it has everybody losing their minds. And then after they launch the rest of it, come December 2nd, we'll make a second recording and just append that to the end to see, I don't know, maybe what we got right, what we got wrong, or just like things that we love or understand more fully. I'm Kaleb, and this is...
I'm Yolanda. Yeah. We used to be a professor and teacher.
Yeah.
No, professor and teacher. No, sorry. Professor and student. I used to be the student, and he's the professor. So that's how we we met. We're just colleagues.
Now we're just colleagues now who really love us embroidered sweatshirts.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Oh my god.
Yeah. We'll start with Jaguar. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? Tell us about Jaguar, Yolanda.
There's a lot of like rebranding in like the fashion community or like fashion industry, and that's what I kind of like think about it. Like it looks like something that a fashion industry or like a fashion brand would do. And this is something that I've come up with when I woke up this morning. Like I think these rebrandings kind of like lose their like uniqueness because they want to pursue simplicity, and I really kind of hate it.
Yeah, you really kind of hate it.
Before there's like the Jaguar, like the actual like Jaguar to like represent the brand, and I think it was really unique and kind of like show like, oh, this is like a car brand and just like really cool Jaguar with it. I mean, it is kind of like repetitive because like the logo and the logo type are like the same, like it's representing like the same thing, but it works. So when they have this like new rebrand and it looks like fashion, like it like I don't know, because like also in the teaser they have like fashion person or like just like a person with like a fashionable like outfit, right? Like, do you saw that? And it just doesn't really like connects with the idea like, oh, this is a like a car brand instead of like a fashion brand. So that's what makes me like not like it. It just doesn't relate to or like doesn't represent the uniqueness that they used to have. It's just super simple. I mean, it works. Like it's a great design. Not gonna lie, it's a great design. But it's just not representing what it used to represent, in my opinion.
They have like this one-page launch site that's just, which when they first launched, the day that they announced it, they didn't have even the back end of the car, or maybe the front end. I'd imagine it's the back end,
Yeah, I just saw this today.
which they didn't have the day one, and I think they probably added it after everybody in there. Everybody freaked out. They're like, "Oh, show the product. There has to be the product. You can't even make a successful campaign if there's no product." And you're like, "Okay, but the greatest campaigns that you know a Nike or an Apple do, they don't show the product either. Maybe a
Yeah.
little glimpse, but it's more. So I don't necessarily agree with that. But yeah, this is sort of like a weird. It's like a more vibrant version of Dune. They're not like sucking canal water out of ventilators and in a
Oh
desert.
my
They're like
god.
still there's like some spices happening. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
What do I think about? I I've thought about it too much at this point, but I will say
Mhm.
my knee-jerk reaction was like, "Oh, that's weird," coming from
Mhm.
Jaguar. I feel like Jaguar has the longevity and heritage that like is sort of ubiquitous. I think everybody understands at least what the Jaguar brand used to be. It's like the Daniel Craig in a gray or black suit rolling around in his Jaguar through the streets of London, right?
Yeah.
Um, and it's like so well understood that it showed up, as somebody who builds brand strategies, it's like when we're building user personas and client profiles, it's like we would say, oh, this person, they drive a Jaguar. And everybody at a table knew what that meant and had the same sort of vision. And when they released this, it's like the opposite, or not anywhere near um, what people have come to know and expect from Jaguar. I would agree with you that I think like typographically, it's beautiful. Like it's super
It's
simple.
beautiful. Yeah.
It's right in line with all the other car brands are doing, right? I mean, like Kia took
Mhm.
this kind of stuff 10 years ago and they like modified their logo type, and it's like every other brand has done it, right? Audi, Volvo, Lamborghini just did theirs too, and like so everybody's simplifying and like re-rendering their logo type, so it's not a surprise to me that Jaguar is doing it. And I think if you put that new logo word mark like in front of a picture of Daniel Craig, that it would feel super, it'd be like so dope, right? It'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
now Jaguar is electric. um and I think everybody would have been super into it. I would also agree that like, man, the backup visuals on this site, so like if you scroll through the video that they released, like it's garbage. It's so bad. Um and it's like almost, it's so bad it's almost kitsch how bad it is.
Mhm.
Um because I think that there are so many other industries that have already done this kind of a thing,
Yeah.
whether it's food or fashion, um, even healthcare. I feel like there's like healthcare brands who are like, oh, we're you know, like Hims, for example. It's not quite as bright, Hims and Hers, but they're like, oh, we're medication for anybody on any kind of sexualized spectrum.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm, mhm.
and I think that Jaguar is trying to do that.
Yeah.
But it was really the backup visuals so far have been super poorly executed.
Yeah.
And the copy behind it is like new era, break norms. Here's the ad. Create exuberant. I'm like, that's so weak.
Yeah. Wait,
Live
I haven't
vivid.
seen this.
Oh yeah. Delete ordinary. You have break molds. It's like they asked ChatGPT to write the lines for them.
Sounds about
Copy
right.
nothing. But like that
Yeah.
logo type there, it's in the middle of the screen now. They're just the word Jaguar. I I love that there's a capital G in it and it's also round like those like weird little A's. It's not a body copy font. Like they're not gonna use that. So there's no concern of like losing the outstroke on the lowercase a. I think
Mhm.
it's really fun. It's really fun in the like emblems they had. I don't know if I
Yeah.
can find. It was like the sort of gold and they had the J's going opposite directions.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that
That felt
too.
like super Gucci Coco Chanel. Um,
Mm.
like that's gonna be in the center of the steering wheel for sure, right? And it's gonna be like you can carry a Jaguar handbag while you drive your Jaguar car. I don't know, or while it drives
Yeah.
itself, something like that.
Yes, sure. Like you would think about Gucci because the G, like it's just like super like like iconic, and then like Chanel too, like it's super iconic at this time. But then like I think I don't know, just like the Jaguar itself is iconic. So why are you like erasing it? Like the
See,
actual Jaguar. Like why
yeah,
don't you just like do something with it instead of just like doing something that's been done by
yeah,
Gucci or like Chanel or like other brands.
right. Well, they do still have a cop. Like there was, they still have it. I don't know. I just pulled one up. This is their only bit of a Jaguar that they've shown. So
Mm-hmm.
it is still. Oh, I guess I'm not actually showing on screen. This I gotta figure this out. So they have that. Like they do have a Jaguar that they have pulled in. It's sort of like the opposite of the IBM logo, where they have like
Yeah,
horizontal bars and then they knock the Jaguar out of it. So there's like a
yeah.
hint that it will be there, um, but obviously it's not front and center at the moment. I agree with you. I'm like, it's like Apple. It's like your brand name is immediately attached to an image. So why you would steer
Mm-hmm.
away from why you move away from that is sort of beyond me. That's one of the reasons that so many people like knee jerked against it. Was I think most of the people who knee jerked against it were like previously being marketed to from Jaguar, and now all of a sudden like Jaguar betrayed that market. This is what I brought my Illustrator document for, Yolanda. This is great.
Oh my God.
Okay, this is what I
Yes.
think. Okay,
Okay.
let's pull it up. So I think if you like had this, I like to do spectrums, you know. So if you had this one as age, we'll say age. Age is a what, an x-axis, and you had people who are 0 and
Yeah.
100. Is that fine? Nobody
Mm.
over 100 buys a car, right?
Nope.
Okay, and then if we had like gender on the other one, so we'll do men and women as the poll ends, and then
Hmm.
non-binary in the middle, um, and whatever wherever you want to place other genders or however you view the perception of those in the middle. I think most car companies, so this would be 50 years old. I think most car companies are like way up here. Like this is Ford. Ford is up here. Chevy's up here. Lamborghini, Audi, what else? Other big car brands. All the fancy ones like Bugatti,
Yeah.
every all the
You
Italian
can you
ones,
can tell because like
all
I'm
of
not I'm not saying anything because I don't know any car brands.
all of Italy is here. The Italian car brands are all here, right?
Yeah.
Um, even though they like view design like really carefully and not necessarily masculine, like I think that they would talk, some of those car brands would talk about like the sexuality of being in the vehicle. They're all targeted at men way up there. And then at the bottom you have like, I don't know, Volkswagen for like moms and safety.
Mm-hmm.
And then each of those brands like has a car for a mom, right? Like Toyota has
Toyota
vans.
for sure. Yeah.
Toyota, like Chevy has, I guess, Cadillac has an Escalade. That's probably more expensive. But regardless, I think like all of the car brands are super split at those polls. And I don't think that anybody had really thought anything of Jaguar for a long time. And they had just sat here like in the middle of all their competition. And I think everybody's like fighting for that same space. And my view of Jaguar's attempt is to move down into this space here, where there's just
Hmm.
nobody else, right? We do the cool J logo. So they're trying to move somewhere in the middle, and to a like mildly young audience. So because I think they're one of the first car companies to show or to like give us a nod at like non-binary people. Uh,
Hmm.
they have a range of ages in that one in their ad that they showed. For a while, I thought Bryan Cranston was in it. I thought that'd be hilarious. Um, so I just think I wonder what to think about your question too. It's like, are they trying to move somewhere else where there's not as much competition, so that they can just capture all of that market?
Hmm.
So who
Yeah.
knows?
We'll figure it out and we'll find out
We're
soon.
gonna see. I think it's gonna be. I honestly don't think much of what they've done is really gonna matter or hurt them at all. Like I don't think a bunch of elderly white guys are gonna go and sell their Jaguars right now. But I think it's gonna be hugely dependent on what the cars look like.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
I
that's gonna be the
agree.
make or break.
So you think that they're doing the branding, like the rebranding, and then like they're also like changing the design for the cars? Like that's what you're saying?
Well, they do have, like, they have published on their website that they are going to be an all electric company, I think by 2025. So
Oh, okay.
basically, all of their gas line cars are going to come to an end, right?
Oh.
And that is one of the catalyst moments for, like, why not launch a rebrand? Um,
Okay, okay.
and I think there are two strategies there. Ford, for example, I think they went back and forth for a long time of whether or not they were going to launch a new brand or just make electric versions of their high selling cars. And they
Mhm.
just chose to make an electric version of their high selling cars. So they sell, a Ford F 150 that still guzzles gas, and they sell a Ford F 150 Lightning, which is the electric version. It's the same exact truck, basically, except for it's faster, it can
Interesting.
pull more, and it's electric. So they
Interesting.
chose to keep their brand and sort of just migrate their buyers into it. And I think honestly, Jaguar probably didn't have enough of a market to worry about moving. And I wonder if that's part of the reason that they're making such a pivotal shift.
Mhm. That sounds about right.
So I can't wait to see what the
Yeah.
cars look like.
I know, me too. Is it December 2nd?
Yeah, December 2. So we'll have to come back after December 2 after we comb through all the cool new
Yeah.
vehicles that drop.
So exciting. Gonna do a part 2.
That would have been like a great break in there if we had like advertisers.
That
Bam.
is
This
true.
episode brought to you by Audi, the number one
Uh-uh.
competitor to Jaguar. I think that car design is probably one of the last industries in design that's like super male gated protected.
Yeah.
It's
But I
gonna
think that's why Jaguar is doing this rebrand.
Oh,
uh, because like I think it kind of like they're trying to get a new market and trying to get
mhm,
into something that car brands or like car industry hasn't done before.
yeah,
So I think that's just very, I don't know, innovative in a way, but also again, it's been done but in another industry.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, it's post December 2nd. Jaguar 2.0. You texted me and said you have a lot of thoughts. I'm ready. Please unload.
um okay, first of all, where are the people? The people disappeared.
They took, yeah,
Be-
well, their hands were in it. They were like
the people
really,
disappeared.
they were like really awfully like fake picking at the rock, and then okay, you keep going. People disappeared.
Yeah, the people disappeared because I thought they would do something with the people, as in like maybe they go to the cars and touch the car, like
Yeah,
just like have a very good representativeness of the previous teaser. But
yeah,
no, they completely disappear.
mm,
Now it's all about the cars, which by the way are beautiful cars. And I saw that they have this like um they kind of go over the type 0 typography on the car, which by
Mm-hmm.
the way, type 00 is the type of the car that they made. This is the first car that the first prototype basically. And
Yeah.
when I saw it and then they said copy nothing, that doesn't click with me, because when they say copy nothing, but then your typography looks like Beats by Dr. Dre typography,
It does look like
and
Beats. You're 100% right. Yeah, the
right,
beat.
and
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
just makes no sense to me. I appreciate your boldness in saying copy nothing by saying that you're copying nobody in the car industry. But hey, your typography looks exactly like Beats by Dr. Dre, and the emblem
Yeah.
looks exactly like Gucci. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm
and
heated up.
all the shape of the car looks exactly like older Rolls Royces did, like super square in the front,
Super square, super
super
square,
square. I
super
mean, but
slick.
that's to be fair, one, it's a prototype car, right? So they're not going to be production models. So, but like every car maker right now has the exact same kind of prototype car that just like it's a brick that
Mhm.
has
Yeah,
smooth lines and elegant shape, and you're like, okay, but we're
yeah,
just driving an electrified brick down the road. It's a beautiful one. Jaguar, like they are
it's
beautiful
beautiful.
cars. It is beautiful. Like
And I just wish that the teaser was really like thought provoking, because
yeah,
there's a lot of things that we are seeing, is including the words like the copy nothing, live vividly, yada yada yada, and
yeah,
it's
exuberant and
very,
opulent.
yeah,
Yeah,
very thought provoking, because you managed to make us, people like us, talk about it in a podcast. But then
yeah,
when they put it out there to the world and it's just basically the same thing, I kind of think, oh, this is a letdown a little bit, especially
yep,
when the people that you put in the teaser are not in the announcement at all, and that you, I don't know, it's like as if you're excited to watch a movie, and then you watch the trailer and the teaser, and when you go to the theater it's not there.
yep,
It's literally like that for me.
yeah.
uh, but I think that's all that I have to say right now, and I'm interested
Perfect.
in seeing on what your thoughts are, and then I can, we can have a little banter here and there. Uh,
I
eh,
know I'm trying to make spacey. Let it all out if you're all heated.
but
I'm heated up too,
it's
but I different. I think there's
in a different
difference for
way.
me. Um,
Yeah.
I would agree. I love the Beats by Dre call out typographically, and I agree too that like fundamentally the cars are like really beautiful. Am I gonna own a blue car or a pink car like that someday? No, but if it came in a nice like deep gray or black, 100%. And just like I said, I think in the first half is like if you strip away, like if you take the weird visuals out of the announcement stuff and you put it in the context of old Jaguar, like the car design stands up, the logo mark stands up, and I think those things are fundamentally pretty sound. I I think in this one, in the first version, like when we talked about this at the beginning, is like the creative is was super weak. The announcement creative was so weak, and so like there's no story that they're telling. Um, the only evocation brought on by the creative is that it didn't feel like Jaguar used to, and I
Hmm.
think that because we everybody had such a strong sense of the Jaguar brand before, that when it was so different, like that was what was evocative. Like visually though, it's like not an the group of people didn't feel interesting to me because they didn't have any sort of a story. And now I think in 2.0, like with the release of it, like you said, without them being featured there, it makes it feel worse to me, the first half of just like the sort of like virtue signaling, like just pointing people out, like you don't look like everybody else does, and we want to target you, but we don't really
Hmm.
care about your story,
Yeah.
or about the things that affect you being different from the rest of us. We're just leveraging you to not launch a car brand that's new. It's new, right?
Yeah.
So part of that felt really bad to me. Uh, I don't think the creative got any stronger in the launch video. Man, there was some of the cut scenes from when they're like unveiling the car. They're like, there's like bad AI editing where the like rock is cracking, and then they're like
Yes.
chiseling some like fake rocks away, but the car
Yes.
isn't there. And the part that really got me was like they were like using paintbrushes to like dust stuff away, and there's like not
Yes.
making any paint or like not making any. I was just like they spent less than they probably make selling one car on the creative, and it felt so bad. Like it would just the quality of the visual output was just awful. Even if the strategy of like let's pick a demographic is nice, let's make a really beautiful car, um, all of that felt like it was really let down by the visuals. 2.0, second other thing, color wise. Ready for this rabbit hole? Okay.
Yeah.
I made a short video a couple weeks back about their positioning. In 2000, okay, Ford bought them from whoever owned them before in
Mhm.
1996 and then sold them to an Indian company named Tata Motors in 2008. Uh, and part of my speculation in the short video that I said was that like white Eurocentric, like high-end parties are all black tie. You wear like a black tie with a white jacket, and that's the like masculine brand at everything, right? All the red carpet shows, everything that goes on. The guys are always in this like boring, drab stuff, and then the ladies show up in something fancy. But in
Mhm.
Indian formal occasions, they're like the brighter the better. It's like there's bright oranges, yellow, and pink flowers. There's like powders and dyes that get spread and shared. And that color tonality matched the visual language in the first teaser trailer and what the people are wearing. Um,
Mhm.
and so I was speculated as like, hey, they're an Indian owned company now. India doesn't have a reputation for cars, and maybe they're just making Jaguar their own. But here's the rabbit hole. Okay, they released the colors like you said, London blue, which makes sense. They're a British-based company, and then Miami pink felt way out of left field. Like I have zero association with Jaguar in Miami. I'm like, I think of Miami and I think of those like those little tri cars. They're like two front wheels and one back wheel. They have lights and loudspeakers. Like I think of that. I don't know what they're called, but those like
Yeah.
kind of like trashy high-end cars.
That's so interesting because, like, I
And
didn't
then,
think about it at
but I'm like,
all.
pink, I'm a soccer player. It's obviously Inter Miami. And I thought, haha, that's just me. And then in the announcement video at the end, the guy names that. He's like, this pink is like this vibe. And there just happens to be this soccer team in Miami. Okay, so I do this deep dive. In 2015, Tata Motors signed the very first athlete as a car sponsor. Could you guess who that athlete is, Yolanda?
No, I don't follow soccer anymore.
Lionel Messi. So in
Oh,
2015, Tata
wait,
Motors,
hold on. Say it again.
Lionel Messi. Lionel? Do you say
No,
Lionel? Lionel.
yes, Lionel.
Messi? No, it's
Isn't it
Lionel. He's Spanish.
Lionel?
He's
Oh, it's
Argentinian. It's Lionel.
Argentinian.
Lionel
Okay.
Messi. Okay, so in 2015, the CEO of Tata Motors signed Lionel Messi to be their brand sponsor of Tata Motors, who owns Jaguar. So somehow Tata Motors is connecting Jaguar to Inter Miami and Messi, and I wouldn't be surprised if eventually they bring him on as like this brand ambassador to like roll up to Inter Miami games in his new Type 00 Jaguars. My mind was blown.
Hmm.
So that huge rabbit hole, all to say that I think Jaguar and Tata Motors have a lot of things, I don't know, under the hood. Is that like too on the nose of a pun?
The hood of the car, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you're
um,
not you're not a car person. I think that hopefully that'll land better with some car listeners. But
yeah. Um,
anyways,
I, yeah. at first, before you mention it, like at first, like I was just like, oh, London blue, that makes sense. But Miami pink doesn't make sense to me. But then after you said that, that makes sense. But still doesn't relate to anything.
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
Absolutely
right?
nothing. Other than like, yeah, like the people who are fans of Messi, I don't think are the same people that they showed in their first teaser video, Jaguar.
Yeah.
You know,
And I just don't
but
know what happened to the people.
they're
I
gone.
just really wonder
I think
because
it
they
was
could have
I
used them.
they could
They
have
could
used
have
them and
used
they could have
them
shown them
like,
driving cars and they could have done so much other stuff. I
yeah.
think that it's probably hard as a concept model, right? Because like even if they were to show the car like driving around downtown Miami, like that's never gonna happen because it's just a concept. But I also
Mm,
think it just points out how badly thought through the creative launch of this was. Because again, it seems like the Jaguar was like tokenizing these people or this visual of these people and saying like, look, we make this car especially for you, but it doesn't really matter because we're just gonna sell cars to somebody else. Like, it's not about the people, it's about us as a brand. And that felt
yeah.
bad. It feels bad.
It feels bad. It feels like it's like so rush. Like
Yeah.
they might have something that they want to launch like ASAP and they just want to put it out there. But I mean, one way or another, people are talking about it. And that's
Yeah.
still a good thing, regardless of
Millions,
it's bad or not.
yeah. Millions and millions of impressions that they weren't gonna get otherwise.
Yeah.
The other part that I thought was dumb was the sort of Jaguar like leaping behind the lines. It looks like you're looking at the Jaguar through the window with some blinds. It felt like they're like really poor way of it's almost like they were scared of having an organic shape in there. So they
Hmm.
put them behind this like prison of horizontal lines.
Oh, yeah, like the
That
reverted IBM.
yeah.
But I think I appreciate that the Jaguar is still there. I really do.
Oh yeah.
I just wish that I think again, like they are limiting themselves by doing this because they already have a great logo beforehand, and I know that they want to follow the trend and they want to follow they just want to be more long lasting with just the logo type. I understand that. And I just don't understand why, or like um just like why they do the horizontal stripes over the Jaguar, because it does feel like it's in a prison. And why is it on the side? Why is it not front and center? Because that's the actual Jaguar itself, and it was really good.
Yeah.
A lot of questions over here.
It used to be one of the best hood ornaments ever, right? It was like they had it like
Right?
leaping off the front of the car. It was so good.
Yeah. So that's why I'm asking, why is it not on the front and the center? Ah, I'm so
Also,
confused
we
and
totally got
triggered.
it wrong about, and maybe this is what your comments were about the Beats by Dre sort of typography. I thought for sure it was just gonna live as a display font, but no, it's like all over their new site as body copy and everything. And you're like,
Right?
yeah, like the lowercase a is so bad. Give us a double story A. Come on.
Do you think they copied the moon landing video?
No, I think the moon
Because
landing
it's
video was way better done than this was. I mean,
exactly because it's
one,
the
I'm not a
original.
conspiracist, Yolanda. It was real. We went. I don't know what you're talking about. But if Jaguar would
And
have launched this video and said, "Oh, we went to the moon," yeah, I would call bullshit all day long. Like, no way, this is not the moon. This is like foam blocks that you spray painted pink, and so much digital
it's
rendering,
also pink.
so much rendering.
Yeah. but they were so serious in the announcement too. I was I was surprised that he couldn't like he didn't laugh at all. I was just like laughing
I
watching it. I
mean,
was like,
think
this
about
is
it.
funny.
He's probably been sitting behind it. The guy who announced it, I don't know what his name is. Here I'll pull it up.
I don't know.
Jerry McGovern. He's all British. Man, imagine his week or his last 2 weeks, like sitting behind a screen, just getting wrecked. Like everything he reads is just about how awful the rebrand is, and and
Yeah.
then going up on stage, which was at Miami Art Week. So he's like the audience is
Oh,
different. Like he's not like Jaguar headquarters in Bristol or something. Like it's
yeah.
Miami Art Week, so maybe that's why the Miami color came in.
Okay, so let's recap everything
Recap
and
everything. Okay,
yes. So
a
from
bulleted list from you and a bulleted list from me.
okay.
Recap
Um
and call and end.
yes. So for me, one, I think you do copy something and it's okay. Second, where are the people? I think it would be cool to implement that into the video because I was excited about the fashion. Third, you definitely copy beats. I am sorry. Fourth, the Jaguar should be front and center. Fifth, I like the logo type. So that's it. I like the
Those
logo
are five
type.
good
It's
points.
just great.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. One for me. The new strategic direction I think is genius because with 100 car brands out there, if they capture just 1% of the market, then they will be more profitable than the other 99 brands. So they only need
Hmm.
1% of the market. So I think they're attacking a percentage that isn't cornered yet. Two, the creative was awful. Please use an exterior agency in the future instead of doing it in house with whatever junior level designers are there because it was awful. Three, the the creative was awful. Both times, all around. Like you should be designing the best cars in the world or some of the best cars in the world as a Jaguar brand. Like leverage that direction and own the legacy of having good design. Fourth, also love the logo type. Fifth, I would put $100 on Miami on Inter Miami. No, not Inter Miami. I put $100 on Lionel Messi rolling up to some games next season in a pink Jaguar. It'll be the Messi
Yeah.
Jaguar collab, and it'll be so weird after the like demographic they showed and then having Lionel Messi show up and it be the sporting fans that are yeah.
It would be all over the place. Cause
It'll be all
I
over the
thought
place.
I thought the fashion it's meant to be like remember your axis?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
were
yeah.
like this is the demographics and everything. And I it's
Lionel
just
Messi isn't in those.
yeah.
He's not in it.
With it it's probably gonna come it's probably gonna be like a reality.
Yeah,
So but we'll
whatever.
see. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah,
Um
we got to see. Like it's not it probably won't be a fatal blow. I think Jaguar were dying anyways, so
oh my
uh,
god.
uh, no, I mean, I don't I think their car sales and everything have been in decline for years.
Years, yeah.
So, it's
Okay.
kind of like a
So
Hail Mary rebrand. Let's go for it and let's see what happens. Millions of people are talking about it right now, this week. Come January, or by the time we actually publish this episode, they may not be.
so that's it folks. This is Yolanda and Caleb
And
and
Caleb,
we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully this first episode is what you guys expected and I'm just gonna share this to a lot of people so that we can get some audience first and we'll see you next time. Bye. Just straight up
peace
bye.
out.
But peace out. Okay,
Peace.
cool.